Hey my friends, how you doing? There's more music. Let's turn it off. Hi. Whew, all right. Time for another live stream. Wow, okay, let me put the live chat over here. Pop the chat out. There we go. Let's see who is here today. Hi, Delford from Colorado. Hi, how are you doing? Matthew, hi. AT from Wolverhampton. Okay, that's new. Tom from California. Hi. Be Creative from British Columbia. Jason from Illinois. Hi. Staren from the UK. Hi. Daniela from Uruguay. Hi. How are you doing? JVS from Sweden. Hi. Jean-Philippe from France. Hans Senker from Lüneburg in Germany. Hi. Stuart from Scotland. Hi. How are you doing? Awesome. So many people. Matthew from New York. Hi. Penny from Michigan. Kerstin from Germany. Hi, everybody. Joe is also here. And Jose from Mexico. Hi. Thanks for joining. Spaß mit Pferden. Okay. Interesting name. Hi. Probably from Germany, I guess, by the title of the account. Kim from Michigan. Hi. Mark from Nottinghamshire. Hi. How are you doing? Jimmy from... Doesn't say. Okay, good. Hi, Christian from El Paso, Texas. Hi, how are you doing? Okay, Christian from Frankfurt. Hi. Evil Masel from Germany, Wuppertal. Hi. And Gordon from Bristol. Hi. D from Bermuda. Oh, very nice. Okay, pretty cool. Christian from El Paso. Okay, awesome. Wow, so many people and probably lots more. Hi, Renee from California. How are you doing? All right. So yeah, let's have a good stream today. I have my cap here, but I also have shaved my head. Well, kind of. It has been like 2 or 3 days. So we can go like this. I look better like this. I don't know, younger. What is with my nose? There's a... What the hell is that? Is that a shadow or is it like... Do I have color? There has to be a shadow, right? That is very strange. Okay. I'm a little bit... Oh, there we go. Let's wait a second. Soda Pop, hi from New York. Thanks for joining. Joshua. Okay. Hi. Chi Chi from Liverpool. There we go. Let's have some let's have some makeup so I don't shine like a bowling ball. Let's go. 1 second. Yeah, there we go. This is actually, I've borrowed this from my mother like a year ago or something. So she's probably wondering where that is. There we go. So I look a little bit less shiny and the camera has an easier time to adjust to the light. There we go. Okay. It's probably not the way you do that, but well, there we go. Okay, the light might be a bit strange today because I had someone here, my model that you know from the photos I've shot so far, and she came here because we made some photos in front of a backdrop, actually 2 different backdrops, and I put all of the light into the room. I will make a video about that. Thank you very much, Christian. The beard is growing and growing. The light is a little bit strange. I don't know why. Anyways, okay, good. So I had to build everything over here and then back here again. So I hope the quality is still okay. Quality is still good. Hi, Gigi from Liverpool. How are you doing? Without the cap, you look better. Really? You think so? Isn't it better with... But I look younger, right? With the cap, I look a little bit more like... I don't know, and I have to wear the cap really high on the head because otherwise I have a shadow and you can't see my face. I have to like just put it up here, so I have a really high forehead, but at the same time there is less shadow on my head. So yeah, the little camera tricks. There we go. Okay, good. But we can do it today without the cap. Oh my God. Yeah, good. So there we go. The beard will get so long. One day you can use it as a cap. Yeah, probably. I can cut it off and then stick it up here and have a really nice hair again. That would be nice. Ukraine lacks a teacher of this level. Oh, okay. Yeah, but now you have one, basically. Yeah, in English. Okay, cool. Let's get started a little bit. So as you know, oh, by the way, I have to look for the link. 1 second. We need that link because today I will show you the new pack. And oh, sorry about screaming in the the new pack. So this is not the online course because I will take some more time for that. This is also why this one doesn't have a video included. It has instead a PDF where I explain how to use it. This one is actually pretty easy because it's sunlight overlays. Let me put this into the chat and then make a sticky post so you can see that. Oh God, magnificent sunlight pack. There we go. 1 second. Bloop. Okay. Magnificent. I hope I write that wrong. Is it right? Magnificent. Yeah, that should be okay. Good. So you should be able to see that link. Let's pin this also so it's on top. That should be on top now. Or not. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, awesome. Good. So you should see that link now. Let me switch the screen real quick. Is everything okay what I'm looking at here? Yeah, that should be okay. Good. Where's the work life? There we go. Okay, good. Let's close the chat so it's open up over here. Okay. Hi Marco, thanks for joining. I like Bruce Willis look. What is the Bruce Willis look? Is it without no hair? I don't think Bruce Willis has such a beard. Thank you very much, Daniela. So these are overlays, and I created 120 overlays for sunlight, and we will have a look at that. I made them really high resolution, and they are PNG files this time. And I also made a overview because I realized that in most packs you don't really know what you're getting. So here you have an overview of all the overlays that are included. So this is a screenshot of the Pro pack and the Medium pack and the Small pack, and the Free pack has like one version of each kind of overlay style kind of type that I created, while the Pro pack has, I think, 15 overlays per different kind of style of the sunlight, right? And they also have these kind of sun rays in there. We will have a look at that in a second. Yeah, so that is the pack for this month, for February. And then I will do the online course within the next days. It is a lot more work than I anticipated to record all these things and make it useful. I made so many recordings just of the intro because I wanted to say something useful, but also make it not too short and not too long. And it was like I spent hours recording just the first 15 minutes or so, and I wanted to be like 90 minutes long. So yeah, it's more work than I anticipated. Anyways, okay, let's get started here. So let's have a look at, can you see Affinity Photo? Yes, you can. Okay, cool. Right. Hi, Luxury Cart from Philly. How are you doing? Sarah from Montana. Hi, thanks for joining. Still looking forward to giving the Chimic. Okay, yes, I will have a look at that. Yeah. Hi, Ricardo. Thanks for joining. Okay, so let's have a look here. And it's super easy to use because the only thing you basically have to do is to place this is why this time it doesn't really need a video. You simply place that and then you go to the pack and okay, this jumps to text, of course. You have all these kind of overlays and you can see they have different kinds of, we can make this even a little bit bigger. There we go. So they're different kinds of types basically. So this is very atomic red, but when they blend, they are not that extreme, right? So don't be alarmed by how extreme the color is. It's not going to be that extreme in the picture. Then we have something that has a little bit more of this kind of violet blue in there. And we have this, which is more like this whiskey golden sunlight. And you can see some have these rays in there and some don't have these rays in there to be a smoother sunlight. And then we have just the suns that we can move around, and they don't go to the border of the image, so you can move them freely around. You don't have a problem where the rays suddenly stop somewhere. So I specifically made it like that. Then you also have these little, how can I say, not bokeh balls, more like, how do you call that actually? This kind of lens slide that you have sometimes, right, in your lens. I made different versions of that. So this is the Pro Pack, and then you have one that is very pink here for a sunset situation, and then I have one with very strong rays in there, right? So let's maybe use this here. You see, I just put this here. It has a very high resolution. Like I said, in the where is it? There, you see. So most of them have 6,000 by 4,000 pixels, and then the square ones have 5,000 by 5,000 pixels. All right, so you have this here, and the only thing you do is to set this to screen, and then you have it in your picture, and you can move that around, right? You can put it wherever you want. And you can see also with this one, it also changes the ambient light of the image itself. So it's not just the sun and the rays over here, but I also made the gradient a tiny bit. When we set it back to normal, you can see there's a tiny bit of color here, tiny bit of brown. Maybe you can't see it because the stream captures it darker than it is on my screen, but there's a little bit of brown in here. So this actually changes the light situation and makes everything in the picture warmer, right? All right. Lens flare. Is that a lens flare? Yes, absolutely. Okay, my brain is a little bit fried. I did so many things today. There was so much work today. My brain is a little bit... How did you make those photos? Which photos do you mean? This picture of the woman? That is not my photo. This is from Unsplash. All these pictures are downloaded from Unsplash, which of course is a lot easier because I can put it on different situations, right? The effect. Or do you mean other pictures? I don't know. Okay. So yeah, you can move that around. You can also, of course, resize that to any kind of thing you want. You can put it here on the corner if you want to. Just have it a little bit here, and then the rays become bigger. And you can also go and put it on the other side. You see here, arrange, flip horizontal like this, and put it then over here, like so. And this time I didn't make any gradients. The reason for that is because of these sun rays. You can't do that with gradients. You have to have an overlay. And it was, more complex also than I expected. There was a lot of experimentation included to create them, to make them interesting and realistic, especially from the colors of the light. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Well, not that big, maybe. So you can see here, this is a really nice sunlight, a really nice golden sunlight is coming into the picture in a realistic way, not kind of a fake sunlight, strange looking sunlight, but actually the kind of light you would expect in a nice picture, right? And you can see, like, with just one overlay, this dramatically changes the image. So that's very nice. Two more things I want to show you that you can do with that is the creation you made, as they are awesome. The creations you made. You mean the overlays? Well, it's a long process. I can't really describe it right now, right? We can look at this. I don't know, at another time, right? It's at the same time not that complex, but also complex. So it's a little bit hard to describe. So some of them are made of a lot of different layers and then just put together into one layer, right? To work like that. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, there's two more things that we can do here. So you can create adjustment layers for curve. And when you put that on, this happens. I don't know why Affinity Photo does this kind of strange thing. So what you have to do if this happens, you go to the layer and you set that to erase. So now it's like before and the adjustment layer still works. So you can see here I have my curve here, and when I pull this down, it makes everything darker. And so, for example, with this, I can still have a nice sunlight and I can have some sun rays over here, but at the same time don't have a strong ambient light on the image, right? So I can reduce that a little bit. So that's very helpful. I can also push this over here to make this darker. And this is only on the overlay, right? This is not on the rest of the picture. Okay, so this is one thing you can do. Let's delete this real quick. And another thing you can do is that you can use the blend ranges for the underlying image. Like so, you can pull this down and, for example, this up if you want to, and play around with these. And what this does is that if you look here in the darker areas, let's reset this. You can see here now we have the rays also here in the darker area. And so when we say, I don't want to have this at the darker area, you can see that this is removed from the shadow areas, while the brighter areas here, they still have the effect on there. As you can see. Wait a second, let's pull this down here a little bit like so. And then I turn this on and off. And you can see it's still there, the light, but not so strong on the hair over here, right? So I can adjust this a little bit to say, I don't want to have so much sunlight on the darker areas of the face. So this really depends. Now I have turned it on and off, and you can see again that these rays go over her hair and over her face. So with that, you can kind of decide whether you want to have it, how strong should that effect be, stuff like that. So it's very versatile. And at the same time, it's very easy to use because it's just an overlay, right? And the good thing, by the way, this time is you can use it on all your different devices, because with the gradients, we had the problem that you can't import them on iPad. But of course, these are just PNG files that you can import as a layer. You can place as a layer. So this should work on the iPad in Affinity Photo, and also on Photoshop, and probably also on Lumina and on other kind of software. Any kind of software that has multiple layers and can blend the layers can actually use this. So yeah, it's very versatile, right? Okay, let's have a look at some other pictures. This one is good. Like there is one thing you should look out for. If you want to blend something, and there is a lot of like if the picture is very bright, if it's very white, then you can't really blend something with it. It has to be a little bit darker, otherwise you can't see anything that's blending with it, especially not with the screen blend mode. So if the picture or the sky is super bright, you don't really see much blending going on. This is why, for example, over here, you don't see any rays, even though there are rays. But over here, where it's darker, you can see the rays. So you have to think about that a little bit. And so, for example, if you have this kind of overcast day we find here, that is actually a pretty good picture to add this kind of sunlight effect, because everything here is a little bit gray. Nothing here is white, so you can really see the rays. Let's do this here. Let's go with one of these suns that I've created that are in the middle. Let's try different ones. Let's try this one, and maybe this one doesn't have rays in it, so let's try that too. Okay, so let's place this 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's turn them all off, and then we can use them one by one. Again, you set it to screen as a blend mode. Let's turn this on, and you can see now we have that light over here. And of course you can, as I said, this is not touching the edge of the PNG. So you can make it small like so, and you can make it really big like so. And it doesn't really have any, like you can see if I do it like this, you don't have any borders here or here, because the gradient and the effect is not going until the border of my PNG file, right? So I made it specifically like that, so you don't have a problem where you always have to create a mask or stuff like that, right? Hi, Inner City. Thanks for joining. Okay, so something else. I use Affinity Designer and bought a photo recently because of... Okay, wow, cool. Wow, interesting. Hi, Sarah. Thank you. Hey, Streamlabs is posting a January pack still. Okay, I didn't turn it off. Sorry. Okay, so this is that one. And it has these kind of like orange. Again, nice realistic light that you find in photos. Like these are, I would say, that the kind of sunlight effects that I really love and I love to see in pictures. And I always wish I had them in my photos, but it's really hard to capture them in real life. But now you can just apply them to the picture, right? And you have this kind of nice, sunny, warm feeling in the picture, right? So yeah, here's a different one. Let's also place this to screen mode. You can see this looks different. When you look at that one, it has a different light than this one. And this also has a little bit of a pink light around that and a more muted orange in the middle. So this is not as strong, not as extreme. And we can just put it up here and have a nice, how can I say, atmosphere in the picture. And like I said, this one does not change the ambient light of the picture because it's just this kind of sun effect in the middle. It's you can also apply one where you have this kind of ambient light on the rest of them, but this one is just the sunlight in the middle and the rest is just black. So you have an isolated effect if you want to do more editing for the rest of the picture, right? That's the idea behind that. Okay, let's have this one. Let's turn this also to screen. And this one has more of a cool light around it and also some sun rays, as you can see here. And again, as you can see, over here on the edge, this is not going over the edge. So this is really important because you will find a lot of PNGs or overlays on the internet where they go completely to the edge and every time you have to fix it, right? So that's not ideal, right? Okay, good. So you can see, very nice effect again over here. You can also put it over here if you want to. It doesn't really matter. It has to be somewhere where there can be light coming from. So that's one necessity, of course, but I mean, this kind of drowns out the building in the background, so you could actually put it like there, and this could be like 2 towers or something in the background. You don't really know. And you can also make this a lot bigger if you want to, like so, and like just have it like this. So you can make really cool, really interesting effects with that. And again, with these nice sun rays in here. So this is what separates it from just being a gradient. Okay. I'm really thinking about doing more of these PNG overlays because they have a very good potential to do things that are more complex. The gradients are super awesome, but with this you can like do really intricate, natural, real looking effects. So that's pretty nice. What else do we want to look at? Oh, these discs, lens flares, sorry. So we have some here. Let's open some of these up. We have you have a kind of greenish red one. So I made different kinds of versions here. Again, they don't go to the border, as you can see here. Especially looked for that this is not happening. Okay, let's turn this on, for example. Let's see what this brings. And this is kind of this blue light. And you can see that this is just a very kind of shallow light that you have, a kind of light effect on the picture, a little bit of light shine. You can also combine that with, for example, if we take this one, you can see, so this would only be this kind of sunlight in the background, and then I have this kind of blue light, and I could pull it down here, and you can also rotate it to match up the rays that are coming from that. You can see like this. And so you have a more intense effect of that. You can match that up. You can combine that. This is what these lens flare discs are actually for, to have this a little bit kind of more of ambience in here, right? Okay. By the way, you can also stack them if you want to. You can see, like if I do this, I make a copy of that. Now I have a stronger effect, or I can put it to the side where this is a little bit stronger here, and then it's fading out to over here. So you can do a lot of different stuff with that. Let's have a look at the other ones real quick. Like so. This is the one where we have a little bit of blue here and then some red around the side. Let's make this on normal again so you can actually see that. You see how that looks? And you can see how this is built from multiple different layers of things going on. Like you have this little ring here in the middle, and then you have the sun rays, and you have another like gradient that's going over it, and then another gradient in the background. So it's blending together. So there's a lot of different layers. This one was pretty complicated. It looks simple, but it's not that simple. And you get a nice effect from that. So that was really important for me to compare this to actual effects you have from a lens on actual pictures where this really happens, and try to match it up so it looks as real as possible and gives you a good feeling for the picture. Thank you very much, Kitty. Hi, Rocco. How you doing? Just bought the sunlight pack. Thank you very much. Awesome. Thank you. Really cool. By the way, look at the PDF because there's the description again, and I put some special links for you. So have a look at that. There's a little surprise in there this time. Okay, let's have a look at this one. What's the time? Oh, we already have almost 30 minutes. So this again, you can see here's a lot of stuff going on in this effect with the sun rays. I tried, in this one, I tried to keep the sun rays the same for each of those. So I think all of them or most of them have the sun rays in the same position and the same way, and the colors are changing and the effects inside of that are changing. So you have a, how to say, it's easier to use. Because if everything is completely different every single time, then it's kind of, you want to have this kind of effect, but it suddenly looks different than you would have expected. And so they are, the sun rays are the same and the size is the same of this thing here every time, but the colors are different and the effects inside of that are different, right? I'm not sure if that was a good explanation, but yeah. Okay. Right, and so, yeah, you can have a really nice effect to put that anywhere in the picture. And again, like combine it with the rest of the picture. Let's use, for example, this one here on the side. And so you can see this is the original without the effect. And this is when I put this on, I have a little bit more of red here and I have a little bit more of green here. So again, I can move this around, can put this down here, or I can put this up here and have different kinds of effects. And again, here you can see that when I put it here, you have a strong red effect, but if I put it up here, you don't see the red anymore because it's too bright to blend with anything. That's really important to think about that, right? So don't put this on a like really bright sky and then wonder why there is no sunlight effect from that. It has to be some darker area where you can see that, like a shadow area, stuff like that. Okay, should we look at some other pictures? There I have also applied this kind of effect here, as you can see. Whoops, that was too much. Let's just take one. So boom, you can see this is the photo without, this is the photo with that. The guy is really strange. It looks like he was like just posted in there, but he's really standing there. I think it's the blue kind of jacket that he's wearing that makes it like he is like a paper cutout or something. It looks really strange. But you can see how easily you can add this kind of nice tropical warm light with this kind of cognac light in there. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And again, as you can see, this also changes the rest of the light in there. And like I said, if you don't want to have that, use a curve to just make the ambient light a little bit darker. Again, with the curve, you get this kind of error sometimes. The strange thing is you don't get that every time, you only get it sometimes. Sometimes I open up Affinity Photo and the curve works, and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know why. Okay, let's go to erase. And you can see now if I pull this down, this kind of reduces the ambient light. You can also push it the other side and make it stronger if you want to. There's also a possibility, right? So let's make this a little bit weaker here. And you can see now we have less ambient light, but still we have this nice sunlight effect up here coming through the trees, right? Whew, all right. Okay, please show masking. Masking of what? I'm not sure what you mean right now. You don't need a mask for that. You use the blend mode to use that, right? Or do you, what kind of masking do you mean? What else do we have here? Oh, there's another one. I prepared some for the stream. Again, we have here, you can see the sunlight. And I really like how realistic that looks. That's really good that you have this kind of, it doesn't look like a fake sun. You find a lot of them also online that are maybe made from vectors or stuff like that, where it looks painted, it looks drawn, right? It doesn't look like actual sunlight, and maybe also has wrong colors. It mostly like this comic style colors, and these have pretty realistic looking colors, so that's very nice. Yes, very natural looking. That was really important. For faces, But if you want to see the eyes of the girl, it would be nice to be able to mask them. The eyes of the girl, where we... Oh, you mean here, in this one, that the effect is not on the eyes? Yeah, you can do that. Let's see if... now here is the possibility that, again, Affinity Photo does like not work exactly as you would expect that. So let's have a... okay. Doesn't do that. So you can see the mask, of course, is again having the same problem. So let's go to erase. And that does nothing too. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. There's a workaround. You can put the layer into a group and then apply the mask to the group, and then magically it's not happening. I don't know why. It's very strange. Well, now you can use it, but there might be another problem at that moment. So we have to look at the edges of what we are blending. Let's have a look at that. We have set this to black, yes, so this should actually work. Let's go here 100%. And then, yeah, we have another problem here. You can see the hardness, and then I paint here, and it has these kind of strange edges. So, I mean, they're not discolored, they're just looking strange, and they're not as smooth as you would expect from that, right? Let's make this really smooth. You see, they are like rather abrupt. You see, so this with 0% has the same like fading than the other one that I had before with 25%. Let's go to 50% and have another look. Yeah, this is a little bit better, but not really. No, is it better? It's not better, right? You see here? This is the kind of same. I don't know. Yeah, that's sometimes Affinity Photo is very strange. What you can do in that case is that you rasterize, and this is sadly destructive in that case, but what you can do is that you rasterize that layer and then you just use the eraser for that. And this is why I always say make a backup of the files so you don't destroy anything. And now I can, for example, let's go here with a rather low opacity like so, and I can, for example, remove that effect a little bit from the face. So you can see now, let's make it like this. We have the effect, but it's not as strong on the face. You can see? Right. So, but it doesn't work with the mask because the blending sometimes doesn't really work in Affinity Photo, and also the mask didn't work either, right? So that's a little bit strange. I think it's a new version. No, it was the same in the old versions. I had that problem for a long time where you have to like play around with either the blend mode fixes it, or putting the mask on the group fixes it, or you have to rasterize it, and then it's working, you know. So yeah, but it's a bit strange. Anyways, there's always a workaround that can be found for these kind of things. All right. Is there anything else I should show you for this kind of pack? Or I think we covered basically everything, right? We have some other, did I have some other examples? Oh, I didn't put anything here. We can put something here. Let's try, by the way, these different kind of colors real quick, and then we go to the challenge of this week. I think everybody's waiting for that. Let's try this one where the sun is up here. And you can see I have a lot of different like positions, and also where this goes over completely the top or completely the side. And of course you can rotate that if you have a vertical picture instead of a horizontal picture. Let's make this a little bit smaller. It's a little bit big right now. So we have this one. Let's take also this one and this one and this one and this one. Okay, let's place all of them and then see how the different effects look on the picture. And you can see not every one of those has the rays in there, it's just some of them. Okay, so let's go to screen and then turn everything off because that's a lot too much. So this is the first one. Already looks pretty cool. You can keep the sun up here in the corner or you can move it around if you want to. You can, again, like I said, reduce the ambient light on that. So this is the one with the rays. This is the pink one. Also interesting. I'm not sure if I would make this pink, but it's interesting. This is the golden light, which is similar or kind of the same taste as the ones with the rays, but without rays. So this is just like soft sunlight up here, which is also sometimes good. You don't always want to have these very flashy, spicy rays in your pictures, right? This is one that makes it more like blue. It's more like this kind of morning light situation. You can see how the temperature changes, right? So this is more like afternoon or evening light. It's warm. And this is more like a morning light where you have this kind of cool feeling down here, right? And then we have the atomic light, which, well, doesn't fit for this one, to be honest. So that's not the one I would use. But this one, the first one, is pretty nice. And this one is also nice if you want to have more like a morning feeling. And you can still do adjustments in the picture, stuff like that. Like, for example, I would always suggest to play around with color balance, for example, to move that around a little bit. You can see how then you can adjust it to specifically the colors you want to have. So color balance is always a really good tool to get the final like taste or adjustment into the picture. You can see how this is a tiny change, but it's a notable change, right? So if you look at the road down here, if I turn this off, it's more blue. And if I turn this on, it has a bit of violet in there. It's a little bit warmer, but still cool light. Yeah. All right. So far, so good. Blue hour. Yes, the blue hour. Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's... okay. I've already read that. I think you're revealing another layer you have also selected. But if you want to see the eyes of the... No, I don't. There is no other layer. This is really how the mask is working. You can see I put the mask on here and nothing changes. Wait a second. We have to turn... Oh, there's one effect turned on. You can see, so I put the mask here and nothing is changing. And I put the mask down here and nothing is changing. But when I make the mask a child of that, suddenly the blending doesn't work anymore. Yeah, really strange. And it doesn't, we have seen before, it doesn't even work in the group. So let's make a group and put this on the group, and this works. It worked before, but you had the problem that it doesn't look good. So the effect of the mask isn't there 100%. So that's strange again. Hi, Simon. Thank you, Daniela. Awesome. Really cool. Post in the Facebook group, right? The results you get from that. The big Pro Pack, awesome. You have a lot to play with. It's like 120 overlays in there. All right, should we go to the challenge? We are 40 minutes in, and there is a lot of entries this time. So let's have a look at the challenge. I think we have talked long enough about the pack. Again, this is the pack. We have a sticky link on top of the chat. And you have a preview this time, so you see exactly what you're getting, what kind of overlays are included. So you have a preview of that. And you have a free pack also. If you come to the page and it says $1, you have the discount code up here, right? So look for that. And it reduces it by $1. Of course, if you click on the link on top of the chat, the dollar is already discounted. So this is already applied to that, right? Okay. Let's go over here to our challenge, if we find that. Ooh, nice picture. Oh, this is a friend of mine. He, not that, of course, but the guy, he has also a YouTube channel, and he traveled to Thailand. He is reporting on his quarantine. He was like 16 days in quarantine, and now he came out today, and he's traveling around. You can watch him do that. It's really interesting. Lots of information on how to travel during this still ongoing pandemic, but of course some countries are more over that. And of course he was tested like before he went on the plane, and when he came from the plane at the airport where he arrived, and then he was in quarantine. So everything is very safe, right? Okay, so let's go here, and here we have the challenge. Like I said, you get a professional edition key today. One person gets that. So let's see who could be the winner today. You can also decide. And if we have multiple people, I also have selected a website where we can do the spinny wheel to find out who of the best people gets the license, right? The professional version. Okay, so let's have a look here. Yeah, okay. Not now. So this is the first one. No, wait a second. Which is the first one? Oh, this is just a discussion. Okay, good. So this is the first one by Joanne. Hard time with the app, best that I could do. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, it's not that easy to use. You have to get a little bit used to. By the way, the challenge is about Filter Forge. Let's have a look at that if you don't know what that is. It's a software, and it was usually, like originally this was done to create textures for 3D rendering, but now they have also like discovered over the last versions that they can also use this as an effect for editing photos. You can use it as a plugin in Affinity Photo, but you can also use it standalone and apply multiple effects to pictures, and you can see here to create really crazy kind of looks and this kind of did it go away? You see here this kind of oil painting effect, stuff like that. And you can adjust the layers. You can build your own, sorry, not layers. You can adjust the filters. In adjusting, I don't mean just move around the levers and the adjustments, the numbers. I mean you can open up the filter, look inside what kind of calculations are going on inside, and then I will show you before I explain it, and it sounds really strange. Let me show you real quick what this does. Okay, so you can see here we have different kinds of effects you can apply, and these are, you can download as many free effects as you want to. You need the software, but then there's a library with how many filters? I don't remember, like thousands, 13,000 effects. Not all of them are good. A lot of them are copies of other ones, but you still find pretty good filters in here. You get a preview on the website. You can see here all these kind of strange effects and stuff that is going on. And you can just click on that and then say open in Filter Forge, and boom, it does a download from the website. And then there you have it. And now you can use this on your own photo if you want to. For example, let's do this real quick. Impressionist channel. Wait a second. Let me have a picture. Let's use the picture of the girl here, and then I will export this in a smaller size so it doesn't, because sometimes it takes, especially if it has this high resolution, takes quite some time to render. Let's make this 1500, for example. Export that as a JPEG into my downloads folder, FF test. There we go. And then we open this up over here, open, downloads, let's go down here and boom. And there you have it. You have the effect applied to the picture, and you can adjust the settings over here. So for example, I can't change the size. Okay, that's interesting. Brush size, let's make the brush size smaller. And you can see now we have, for example, more detail in the picture, and you have this kind of effect as if it was painted, right? Now, here's the amazing thing. I right click on this and say edit, and boom, this is inside the effect. You can see every little step that's happening to the picture, every kind of thing, and you can get a preview of every kind of stage that's happening here, and you can change things, and you can add different other adjustments. For example, you see here there is more settings in here, and you can say I want to have one on this rotation thing. I don't know what it's doing, but we can try. Let's see. We have here controls, and then we go here to this one and just connect that here to rotation. And then you can use the slider here to do some stuff. I don't know what it's doing. And it's also showing up in the, maybe should we connect it to something else? I don't know. Offset, opacity, chaos, H offset. Let's set the maximum value to 100 over here. And then I call this Olivio, so you know that this is actually created by me. And I will close this and save this as my own version here. Ollie, boom. So there's my filters. And you can now see we have a new slider down here called Olivio, as you can see here. Oh, there's my big hat is here. You can see now here is the new slider with my name on that. And let's see. Is it? It's doing something. Like, for example, look at this here. This kind of thing that's happening here. And then I move this. And now it's different. So it is doing something. I can't tell you right now what exactly it's doing, but it's doing something. So you can really adapt and actually also build your own filter. So this is what Filter Forge is, right? Okay, let's go back to the contest. Boom, there we go. Okay, and people have created amazing things. Like if you tell me, I mean, maybe you can create this with Affinity Photo, but some of the other ones are like mind-blowing. So this is what I mean when I say use different kinds of software. Don't get stuck with just using Affinity Photo. Try to also play with other tools out there because they can add a lot of different value to your picture. Yeah, okay, so we were talking a little bit about where to use it, how to use it. I use it outside of Affinity Photo. There we have the layers. We have this rectangle. So you apply the effect to that, and then, so this kind of pink effect and this kind of outline here, this kind of grunge effect onto the photo. Yeah, so it can be a bit complicated to get started with that. So this is the first entry by Joanne. Thank you very much for that. Let's go to the next one by Jean-Loup. There we go. And it's always the same bird photo, by the way. I suggested that. So let's have a look at the original picture so you have an idea what is going on. There it is. Okay, so this is the original picture. I said, okay, you can use this picture. You can also add stuff to that, by the way. Okay, so here we have the different stages. Wow, okay, so he explained this step by step. Original picture, and then the comic book effect, and the peeling paint effect, and the creative postal stamp effect, blend mode soft light onto the picture, apparently in Affinity Photo, and then filter, affinity contrast, and mask flow. All right, interesting. And so we end up with this. Awesome, right? I mean, if you can do this in Affinity Photo, you have to be like a master and invest hours, I guess, to create that. And in Filter Forge, it's rather easy to do that, right? So that's pretty amazing. Hi, Simon. Hi, Marco. Thanks for joining. I need to turn off Streamlabs because it's posting the alt. Maybe I should, wait a second. Where can I see the message? There it is. Okay, 1 second. Let me go to Streamlabs and change that because he's kind of posting stuff that's outdated. Log in. YouTube. I hope this isn't breaking anything right now. I'm done in a second. 1 moment. Make your logo. No, I don't want to. Widgets? No. Cloudbot. There we go. Timers. Yes, please. This is the one. And then I just change this. Okay, save, and we're good. Okay, that was that. Okay, cool. Right, so I'm back, and yeah, so this is the entry from Jean-Loup. Pretty awesome, very nice. This effect is going a little bit over the edge here, as you can see, but don't worry about that. Still pretty cool, very nice. Really nice effect. Let's go to the next one. You can also vote in the chat if you say, hey, this should be the winner. So here we have 2 effects, 2 filters used, Impressionist channel and the HDR, the paint channel, HDR is paint channel. So this is not the one, this is the one. Wow, okay. That's pretty awesome. I mean, that actually looks painted, right? Can we zoom in there a little bit? Wow. That's kind of a, would you say, impressionistic style of the painting? Pretty awesome. Huh. Very nice. And I really like that they look so real. You look at that and if you wouldn't know that this is a digital effect, you would probably think this has been painted in a kind of impressionist watercolor style, for example, right? Or a faded oil color style or something like that. It has a little bit of this kind of Van Gogh thing with the very many strokes in there. Pretty cool. A little bit of pointillism maybe. Awesome. So this is from Brett. Really interesting effect. Very nice. I'm really surprised how much people got out of the filters that they were using. Gouache effect. Okay. Oh, and here we have also a nice collage. So here now the bird is on a hand. By the way, was this also collage? Yes, it was. Let's have a look at the original picture first. 1 second. Boom. So, oh no, he's also sitting on that, what is it called? Handrail. So here we have a hand with earth on that. Very nice. Very dark again. Please try to be a little bit brighter because in the stream, everything looks a little bit darker. So I will put this over here. Let me close all of these real quick so we save a little bit on computer power. There we go. Okay, let's open this up here. And then I will just brighten this up for you so you have a better idea of what's actually going on in the image. That looks better, I would say. Okay, cool. So very nice effect again. I don't know why these 3 light dots are down here. Is that in the original picture? I don't think so, right? Why do I always close the original picture? What is going on? Let's put this here. No, there's no dots here. Is Arthur? Are you in the chat? What is this down here? It's maybe to balance it out, right? We can paint this out real quick and see how it looks without them. Let's see. What is that? I'm using the wrong brush. 1 second. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I'm an idiot. We need to use the below layers too. There we go. I don't know. I don't think you really need that, right? So I don't know why they're there. Interesting. Maybe they have been part of the photo with the hand, but the effect was pretty cool. Very nice. I would leave it. I would do it without the 3 dots down there, to be honest. It looks a little bit more balanced. It's a very nice effect. Okay, pretty cool. Isa is saying, how can I add that in Affinity Photo? You go up here to Edit and then to Preferences and then to Photoshop plugin. And there you have to hook here to allow unknown plugins to be used. And then you can use it. So yeah, that is what you need to do. I would, like I said, I would use it outside of Affinity Photo, like export it. And then import it afterwards into Affinity Photo, edit it some more, because sometimes the filters are pretty work intense. It can take some time, and it might be that Affinity Photo is crashing in the meantime, and so, or Filter Forge is crashing. Not sure which of the 2 is the problem, but you don't want to lose your work right in the process, right? Okay, let's go on. Let's keep this open. Let's go on to the next one. So this was from Arthur. Pretty awesome. Oh, this is from Sabine. Wow, that looks very cool. What do we have here? First, I bring in the bird on mountains, and then you use this Filter Forge effect, and there is the background also. Let's have a look at that. Hi, Ami. How are you doing? Been so excited for this. Awesome. Really cool. DT says, lol, I don't do that thing all the time where I keep referring to something yet always think I'm done, so keep one. Okay. yeah, me too. All right, for the link, right? Wow, that looks like I can remember these. Do you remember these? Like, what was that time? Like the 60s, the 70s, you had these cards, these colorized, like they would do black and white prints and then colorize that, and you can archive that, I think, as postcards. People sent them to you. What's that? It was from a time where I wasn't born yet. So it has to be like the 60s, I would say, maybe 50s, 60s, stuff like that. We had this exact look. And then I know the cards because I've seen them. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. I also like this kind of messy texture here in the background where it looks like the color has gone a little bit strange during the painting process. Really cool. Very much like that. And also I like how the background is very abstract, and then the foreground, the bird, is has more detail in that. So that's very cool also. So here you applied. This is also a very good edit, to be honest. Like if you look at this, is the original picture, and this is the edit where you replace the background, but everything matches really well. Like the colors match and the perspective matches. So really nice. Also the atmosphere and this little detail here in the front is also good to have these 3 different layers as you want to have in most of your pictures. Very nice. Okay. So this is the edit where you did that HDRist effect in Affinity Photo, in Filter Forge. And then, okay, this is the original background. And then you combined everything to this. So you can see here, the Filter Forge would make also the bird very abstract. And so you blended this in so it looks less abstract, but still has these very nice colors in here. Pretty cool. Yeah. One of your new sunlight layers. Really, you think? That it should be some sunlight in there on top of that? No, I think it's really cool like that. I mean, you could put some here, but it's really nice like that. Very, very cool. This is actually my favorite so far, to be honest. Let's have a look at the next one here. This is from Matthew. Let's close these other ones down, not the first one this time. Ooh, okay. Oh, wow. That is a very smart composition. So you have not only the heart in the background, but you can see that both of the birds, one is in black and white and the other one is in color. So that's interesting because they kind of, there's more of a story in there, right? So that's pretty cool. Very nice. I really like that. Nice, also nice to see that kind of element of the symmetry of the birds, which already has this kind of heart shape, and then put the other heart in the background. Let's have a look at the filters you have been using. So one is this kind of sepia filter here, and the other one is a grunge filter. But did you use that on the background or on the birds? I mean, you used the sepia filter on the bird. How did you use this? How did you make this one? Or is this just like an image you downloaded from the internet? The kind of, how do you say? What is that stone called? In German, it's called Marmor. In English, it's called... I can't remember. Anyways, pretty cool. Very nice. Very cool edit. Thank you, Matthew. Let's go. Here we have the next one by Joanne. Oh, you did a second one. I think you wrote me that you haven't been like sure if the first one is the right one. So here you did a second attempt. Lots of layers there. Pretty awesome. Interesting. Wow. Posterize, lightness, and watercolor frame. Okay. Yeah, you can also create these frames. This is really cool in Filter Forge that you can use the software. One second, I want to show you again. So you have here in these effects area, the effects are meant to be used with photos, and there you have a lot of different kind of frame effects. You can see here, for example, this kind of vignette outline, like this also, and then you have these grunge frames, which also can have transparency. If you export it as a PNG file, this will actually be transparent and you can stick it onto something, which is also very nice. A halftone frame, and there we have the watercolor frame. And the cool thing is here, you have this variation down here, and this goes often up to 30,000. So this means you can have 30,000 variations. And when you look at the frame here, let's zoom in here a little bit. Look at this shape that it has up here. And then I move this a little bit around and you can see the shape here moves, and you can have 30,000 different variations of that and move this around until you find one that is really up to your taste, that has everything with it. Okay, it should be like that, right? So that's pretty amazing that you have this potential also. All right. Then I use what? I use the sepia to change the color of the bird. So this is about Matthew's picture, and the grunge to get the greenish color. Oh, interesting. Okay. Then I use the liquify persona to shape. Oh, interesting. Okay. I love trying out Filter Forge. So impressed. Yeah, Filter Forge is really impressive. You can really build amazing things with that. Okay, so this is basically the second entry of Joanne. Actually, you should only do one entry in the challenge, but I think you wrote me that you weren't that happy with the first one, so it's okay that you made this kind of second attempt, especially with the new software. So again, you also put this into a new background, the bird, also on a railing here, which is nice. I mean, this time really the people have figured it out with the perspective. I'm really impressed with that you integrate the bird in all these kinds of different backgrounds with the hands and with the landscape in the background, and it really matches really well. So that's very impressive. And then you have this kind of painting effect also on the picture. Pretty cool. Very nice. Really impressive. And you use a lot of different layers here to do these things. So yeah, pretty awesome. Thank you, Joanne. It's always good to try around, experiment, and try different things. Like, this is always something I would suggest to you, that don't just make one version and say, okay, now I've learned the effect. Make one version and then make another version and then come back some days later and make another version, stuff like that. So you figure out different ways to handle an effect, to approach something that you just learned as a new technique, stuff like that. So you get a better picture of what it can do. And with every try, you find out new ways to do that, and you get more experience. And it's being a good artist is very much about the experience, not so much about the different techniques that you know, because the knowledge alone is only the starting point, right? You always want to have experience and rather use a technique wrong, but with a great result because of your experience, than using it right and not have a good result, right? And this, yeah, it often happens. Because you often see people who are technically perfect, but they just can't do good pictures, right? In photography, in photo editing, in all kinds of things. They do very technical, amazing things, but artistically, like, very boring things, or even like catastrophic things that just don't look right. They are great to be part of the technical team. That's awesome. They can do the stage lighting like a master. Nobody can do it like them, but they couldn't do a good picture for if the life depends on that. So everybody has different roles, right? So get the experience. That's really important. Get the experience and the feeling for that also, right? Okay. Wow. Okay. Now it's another one here from Lesek. I use 2 filters, Paint Buster and the 100-year-old tugboat. Interesting. There's a filter, it's called 100-year-old tugboat. I have to look that up. 1 second. Filters. You can also search here for filters. 100 year. Let's just go with 100 year. Old tugboat. Oh, it creates this rust effect. Oh, that's interesting. So let's have a look what you did with that. Wow, okay, interesting. So this looks like the picture was printed on a metal plate, like you know from these old advertisement things. I feel like they should do them again, right? I really like these kind of old schooly metal plate advertisements that also had this kind of 3D print in there where some parts would be sticking out of that. That had a lot of character. I'm not sure why they don't do that anymore. They only do it like vintage style where you can buy it as a tourist, but not actually where you see it somewhere. And it was really cool. I don't know why that went out of fashion, but that looks really nice. Very cool. Really enjoy that. The background here is a little bit too glowing for my taste, because not because it couldn't be like that, but because this area here is more muted and has a different kind of light feeling, if you know what I mean. And this one is more like radiating, you know. If you look at the picture and you have the picture, you look at the picture in shadow, and the colors don't, the bright parts of the picture don't shine at you because there's no light, not much light reflecting from that. And then you go to a sunny area or a brighter area, and the picture suddenly has more colors and more contrast, right? And I get this kind of effect here where these rusty areas, they look like it's somewhere in a overcast area or in a shadowy area, and this is more like in an area where the light is shining directly onto the plate, so you get this kind of reflective light, if you know what I mean. You sell metal prints, really? Wow. Okay, interesting. Okay. How to blend a filter forge texture with an image? Just import that into Affinity Photo and use the different blend modes. So that's a good thing to use them in combination, because then you can have the full power of Filter Forge and the full power of Affinity Photo at the same time. Not at the same time, but on the same project. That's what I mean. So that's also really cool. Okay, thank you very much, Lessek. And it's really cool to use this to also find out about new filters. Postage Stamp again. This is, I think, one of the favorite filters in the community. Of course, it also has a really nice effect. Also, this kind of deteriorated surface, right, where some parts of the print are missing. That's also very nice. Again, a little bit too dark. Let's copy this over so you can see this better. Let's go here and pump this up with the curve a little bit so you have a better look at that, like so. There we go. Okay, pretty cool. Right. And a lot of these filters are made in a rather smart way. Let's have a look at that real quick before we talk about the picture again. 1 second. Where do we have that actually? Somewhere you can see, like, you can have tons and tons of filters in here. I don't find that right now. Sometimes we can have a search up here. Sorry, stamp. You can do it like that. Okay, so that's a lot easier. So what you can do here is you can see this is set up in a smart way where people who have created that filter thought about different kind of qualities you want to have here. And for example, this one here is called vintage, and this is, as you can see here, if it's not vintage, the picture has all the colors and all the contrast, and the paper is nice and white, like it's completely fresh from the factory. And then you can age that. You pull that up, you can see over time, not only do the colors and the paper change, but you also get these kind of degradations here. You see this part here? When you look at that, I set that back and it's not there. And then over time, when you make it more vintage, the color goes off the paper. So that's really interesting. If you set it really vintage, a lot of that is missing from the paper. So there's a lot of smart decisions have gone into creating these filters. And like I said, you can edit them yourself. Okay, let's leave that open. Maybe we want to switch back to that. So that's pretty cool. You added also a forest to that in the background. Again, really cool. I like also the ambient light on the bird, which also has this kind of brown tone that you find in the background light. So that's pretty cool. That's very interesting. Is the Nick collection free for what you have? No, I bought the Nick collection. I don't have the newest version, but the almost newest version. I'm not sure which is mine, to be honest. Let's see. Does it say it here? I don't know. I bought the one before the last update. Also Photolab. I have Photolab 3 instead of 4. But it's very good. So yeah. It's not that different from the old version, but it's still very good. And I mean, it's worth the money. It's Nick collection is so good that most of the time, if I do photo shootings, I edit it in Photolab, then in Nick collection, and then I do the final parts with Affinity Photo, because in Affinity Photo, I do all the kind of very detailed adjustments, right? For example, 1 second, I'll show you real quick. Instagram. So if you look at these two pictures, And I swear I'm gonna do new edits next month. Like I'm gonna start tomorrow doing next month, because I always sit there and say, yes, I'm gonna do that, and then I never find the time. So I'm gonna do, starting tomorrow, really gonna do edits. So we have these two here. Let's have a look at that. And so I would do a lot of the like original setup in Photolab, the raw adjustments. Then in Nik Collection, I do, especially with Viveza, I do the adjustments of the shadows and of like, because you can really, yeah. Okay, I have to turn off my phone 1 second. Because you can really adjust different areas. Like you can really select just a shadow area under the eye. And who is writing me right now? Come on. Or just like the inside of the eye, and adjust like just the color part of the inside of the eye, stuff like that. Viveza is really good with that. And then I would go in here, and I, for example, she had a lot of, how you say, goosebumps, because it was really cold on that day, and I removed all the goosebumps in Affinity Photo, for example, with frequency separation and some other tricks. I think I even made a video about that. And this one here, this was actually daylight photo. Is there the original photo in here? No. But I did a lot of editing. Again, this kind of turning this into a nighttime photo and getting these colors right. This is done with Nik Collection and Photolab. And then all these kind of magical effects here with the smoke going up and these little like, what would I say, sparks flying through the air. Also the texture here on the skull, because this is like a very cheap plastic skull. It doesn't look like great in pictures, but now it looks actually really good in here. Is all done in Affinity Photo. All these kind of artistic effects where you need a ton of layers on there, that is done in Affinity Photo, right? Okay, let's go back to our challenge here. Okay, so this is the picture we have. Sorry, it's like getting sidetracked once in a while. Whew, right. And by the way, this is my new, like, not New Year's resolution, but I want to starting tomorrow, I will edit photos every day for an hour, because there is so much things I'm doing, like strategy plannings, and like, if you work in a company and you have too many meetings, I have meetings with myself where I sit there hour long and planning on whiteboards and stuff, all these kind of things, and reading books on how to become better, especially on YouTube, stuff like that. So yeah. And then the day's over and I haven't touched a photo program. So I want to do that at least 1 hour per day. Okay, let's go and look at that. So really, really cool. Very nice edit. I like how the ambient light is fitting and the atmosphere is fitting, and how you applied the effect there. That is really nice. By the way, this would maybe be a little bit like a hint cooler if you search for a paper texture and like put this as a stamp on an actual paper background or something like that. Maybe that would have been too much. I don't know. But I just thought like, that could be interesting. Okay, cool. Let's go on to the next one. Do you have any kind of favorites yet from the edits we have seen so far? Because we need to select a winner today. So here's the next one from Frank. Oh, and he actually put it on a background. So what did you write, by the way? Let's have a look at the picture first. Interesting. Okay. Nice. So he said, I added a picture, a virtual frame on a virtual wall of a virtual cabin. Okay, so lots of virtual stuff. I used the grunge filter from Filter Forge in the effects section. Rough wood. Filter. What? Rough woods filter in the building section of textures. This is a texture. I could have sworn that this is a photo of wood. It's not a photo of wood. Wait a second, what is it called? Rough woods. I can't see rough woods. Oh! What? That is impressive. Ugh. There's even nails in here. Can you see that? There's nails. And we can have different kinds of wood. Oh, wow. And you can even, this is for video games and stuff, so this is actually seamless right now. Wow, someone created that. That is impressive. I mean, it's not easy to find the right textures, and here you can just make them. That is really impressive, really cool. Okay, good to know. Some are a little bit too much of this kind of, you know, like damage or insects biting into the wood. Like in this one, it's a bit too much, but you can still adjust that in the software. So, wow, I would not have expected this to be a virtually created wood in here. The texture, like the frame, looks not that real. So this is maybe one of the downsides, is that the frame looks very 3D plastic kind of. The rest is pretty cool. The rest is pretty awesome, but the frame looks not that great. But really cool, really like that, right? Very nice. By the way, again here, you really have to look at the contrast you have in the different areas of the picture. You can see like inside of the picture, there's a lot more contrast than on the wood in the background. So you need to adjust that a little bit so it fits together and it looks like it's in the same area. It's like in the same reality, basically, if you know what I mean. But really cool edit. Very nice. Really like that. Very cool work. Okay, it's so nice when we find out about the filters. Wow, what do we have here? It's actually a 3D effect too. Can you do that? You know? Oh, washed out vintage. Okay, interesting. That looks like, that could be like a book you see in old or maybe even newer video games. So that is actually like something I would suspect to find on the ground inside of a video game, from the kind of 3D-ish look it has. And it's a kind of this artificial look. It doesn't look like an actual book, but it has this kind of video game fake book look. So that's kind of cool. Still really interesting. You know why I also think this looks a little bit fake? Because the text goes to the very edge of the, you can see here, like this is, you wouldn't do a layout like that where you push the text so hard against the edge of the paper. Like always let a little bit of distance there. But there's a texture in a video game, you will probably find it like that. So it's pretty cool. Very cool. Thank you, Tony. Really interesting edit. Yeah, and also this kind of completely white in the background. I don't know if you did that on purpose or is it just like more an accident, but it kind of fits. It has this kind of trashy, old style, like old time vintage video game look with the white in the background and everything. Really interesting. I really like that. Very cool. Hi, Frank. Thanks for joining. Meeting. Amy can relate to have meetings with yourself. Yes. This is the best meetings. Everybody always agrees. All right. Yeah. There we go. By the way, here's a question. If you're on your own, do you talk to yourself like loud? Do you have conversations, stuff like that? Maybe not a conversation backward and forward, but sometimes you say out loud one part of that. Like you say, yeah, I would do it like that too, or something like that. Or like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. There's nobody there, but you say it because you have this inside voice and you talk with yourself over about ideas, right? Do you do that? Because I do that all the time. I find it really good to, it's better than just thinking an idea, right? You want to, because it puts the idea on the outside for a moment and then you can look at it and like you imagine it as if another person would say that, and you can kind of have a better idea if it's like a dumb idea or not, you know? Stuff like that. Yeah, so I do that a lot. Yeah. And by the way, I had, because I do so many thinking about what should I do with the channels and with the product and with my future and all these kind of things, and I want to discuss them. That when I go for a walk, I have my headset, not my headset, but you know these kind of, how do you call, like these little earplugs you put in there. And I thought, how would they know if I'm on the phone with someone or if I'm just discussing an idea that I'm thinking about right now? And so I was like, if they don't know, I can just talk about ideas, you know? And it feels a lot better if you just go like, yeah, but should I really do it like that? Do you say, should we really do it like that? Or do you say, should I really do it like that? Is also interesting. Yeah, but it feels like better. You get a little bit of an outside perspective. I tell blind dog Dilly all about the next steps and ideas. Oh, that's also a good idea. I have never thought about talking with my cats about ideas. Interesting. Yeah. Creative people tend to. Maybe, yeah. My girlfriend says you have to talk to yourself if you need expert advice. That's a good one. Okay. Can I add Lumina 4 as a plugin in Affinity Photo? Apparently you can. I've read about that, but I have not tried it yet. Yeah, so a lot of people do that apparently, so it's not as strange as I think it is. I did that once, but I also felt kind of awkward. It's awkward. I only do it if people are far away in the park. I'm not sitting on the park bench. Someone's next to me and I'm starting to talk with myself. Not like that, but sometimes like I read an interesting like book or something and I have to talk about the ideas, stuff like that. Okay, let's go to the next one. Did we jump one? No. Okay. Madeira coastline background. Okay, so this was for the last one. Let's see. Let's close this one here. This is from Amy. Oh, you're in the chat right now. Hi. There we go. So now we are looking at your picture. Wow. Okay, so this is very modern. Reminds me of like music covers. I would say like this kind of, what is it, like chill out house music, stuff like that. Or just this kind of chill out mix, hip hop, house, stuff like that, music, relaxed. Very nice. Really like that. I really like also this kind of, you have a very abstract painting of the scene in the background, and then you have this kind of line art in the front to give you an idea of what is going on. It's actually pretty cool style. Very nice. And here we have the different filters you have been using on how to add plugins. Do you have a video on how to add plugins? No, you just install the plugins as you would do, and it asks you, do you have to install it in the Affinity Photo, no, in the Photoshop folder, stuff like that, and you say yes, do that, and then Affinity Photo will figure out that there have been plugins installed, so it will look in the right folders, and you go to Edit, and then to Preferences, and you can see if it has found them. And you can also, you can add some here, you see, add, and then you can point it to the folder if you want to, so it looks for that. For example, you can see here, I've pointed it to my Nick Collection folder, and then it's added the different Nick Collection plugins. One, the perspective effect for some reason does not work, or it's not a known, it does work, but it's not a known filter. So you have this hook down here to say also allow unknown, which means it might be unstable, it might crash Affinity Photo, but you can still use it if you want to on your own risk. This is why they made it an extra box, right? All right, so this is how you use that. Let's go back here to Amy. Do you say Amy or Ami? I don't know if it's what's the right pronunciation of that. That's what I went for. Ah, okay, that's what you went for the style. Yeah, it could really be that. This kind of chill out CD cover. Even has like the square format, right? A mock album cover. This is what you say here. So pretty cool. Very nice. Really like that. Let's have a look at the different filters you have been using here. There we go. Oh, nice. Stony Painter. I will install that. That is so nice that you can just like one click and it's in your software. You can use it on everything you want. This is so awesome to have that. And then you have this kind of line, sketch cleaner. Okay, let's also download that real quick. Boom, there we go. Awesome, really nice. Okay. So that is also a really good one. For the editing with FilterForge and Affinity Photo. Really, really nice. Is there something extra here? No, this is the... Do you do your own music? Maybe. Ami. Oh, so it's Ami. Okay. I see. Interesting. Yeah. Very nice. I want to do some more music myself too. I haven't done that in a long time. Oh, we have the bird. I was saying, oh, this is the first one that doesn't apply to the rules, but this does. Jens. This is from Jens, and he made a matrix glitch effect. So here we have the phone booths. Not really phone booths. How would you call that? It's not a phone booth, it's a phone station? Just a public phone? I don't know. Is this in Vietnam or it's not Thailand, I think. Like it looks a little bit like that, or maybe it is. This down here looks like Thailand. I think it is. Okay, interesting. Right. The matrix code filter from Carlos. And then some motion blur on the bird, which is very nice. Look at this little detail here. That is very cool. You see how this is like fading over a little bit and gives some extra like expression to the bird, but also some more attention, because this is the only part that has different colors in here with this kind of orange. And it has a little bit of a story where kind of the original colors of the bird are blown out of the bird and everything becomes virtual at that moment. You can see the kind of the time transition a little bit in there. So that's really interesting. Was timed out, message deleted. I don't know what you posted. Don't post links. Yeah, okay, you can't post links. So that's the chatbot would filter that out. Payphone. Yeah, payphone, right. But that this kind of station, does it have any name on its own? No, you just say payphone, right? Because this is not hanging on a wall. It's like on a stick or something, you know, on its little like metal frame or so. Yeah, and anyways, okay, cool. Okay. So really awesome, really nice. Thank you very much. And so there's a matrix filter in here. We can also have a look at that. 1 second. FilterForge, matrix. There we go. Oh, I was forgetting about that. The guys from the people from FilterForge said that they would like to show some of your pictures in a post or in their newsletter. I'm not sure. So I will send them a screenshot of the challenge so they can have a look at that. And then I will reach out to you, and you can send them your photo if you want to, so they can include it into their post on people using their software, right? If you want to, so that would be really cool. Okay, where's the matrix thing? Oh, there we go. Matrix code. Awesome. Look at that. And by the way, if you scroll down here, I rarely scroll down, but if you do, you get variations that are also included in that filter. So these kind of presets basically that have been created. You can also save your own presets, by the way. So that's pretty awesome. Really nice, really cool. Wow. Okay. Thank you very much, Jens, for that entry. Let's see how many more we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my God. Okay, you have been super productive. Something happened right now. I'm not sure what. Maybe someone subscribed to the channel. I think someone subscribed to the channel. I cannot turn it off. I have to write them. There is a light effect here. This, you see this? That's not good. Nobody told me. Maybe we can fix this. 1 second. Not quite. 1 second. Yes, that's better. Okay, good. Whoop. All right, there we go. What time is it, by the way? Oh my God. We have to go on here. I mean, really cool entries today. Oh, okay, this is a little bit darker by Mary. The graveyard with the bird down here, again with the postage stamp. Pretty cool. The elements are like, it's really cool that you added these elements, but you didn't blend them from the brightness and from the ambient light. So maybe do that. The elements are pretty cool on their own, but just like you can see how the green is different from this green here, and how the brightness of this is different from the brightness of the rest here, or the contrast. Let's say the contrast is different from that. So let's play around with that a little bit to mix that a bit more and make it sit there in there a little bit better. Pretty cool. Let's maybe go a little bit faster because we also have to suggest, we have to select a winner. This is from Isabel. Wow. Oh, wow. You went completely in on the Filter Forge challenge and tried everything. Wow. You made a texture. This is, by the way, also a Filter Forge texture here in the background. And then you made this kind of film strip with all of these kind of effects in there, a little like button also. Wow, you went overboard with that. Really awesome. Okay, pretty cool. Lots of filters used in here. Very nice. Golden one also. Pretty awesome. There you remove the background apparently. Interesting. And this is kind of a jeans, even with the leather in here. Is this something you created, or this is a picture from the internet? Because that's pretty awesome, like how the stitching is going around the hand and stuff like that. I would be really impressed if that is a filter. Okay, thank you very much, Isabel. Let's go on to the next one. So, sorry, we have to speed up everything a little bit. Oh, wow. So, wow, okay. That is a nice one. Really matches the perspective also with this little backpack here and the little waist belt here, tool belt, and the helmet with the night vision goggles on here. So we have all these little details. Wow, you matched that really well. That is really awesome, because it's not easy to find things that match in the perspective, especially when they are so close together like here. That is really impressive. Wow. Why is the chat way behind? Because there is a little bit of a delay on the live stream and on the chat. So you can see, let me write hello test in the chat. So I wrote this right now. And you can see now when it comes, and you can see it on the screen. That's kind of the delay you get, I think. Also, I feel like this is too low here. Oh yeah, because you can see there is more. There's a lot more, but I keep it lower because I only have the first 3 of them here. And so this is why there's such a huge delay. I maybe should do this differently, right? Let me see if I can crop this on the top. I can, okay. So this would be the better idea, to do it like that. That makes a lot more sense. I've never thought about that. Thank you for pointing that out. I hope it still works and isn't broken right now. And my hello test has already been also like moved along. So there isn't as much delay as I thought there is. Interesting. Okay. You can see the same, and then the same appeared like a second later up here. Oh, and there's the stream window. Never mind. Okay, let's go back to this. So at least we have improved this a little bit. So this is really impressive, really awesome. Thank you very much, Abel. Very, very cool work. Ah, there we go, from Traute. I think you're doing the photos yourself, right? From these animals. Yes, this is her own photo. So she's a wildlife photographer, and she takes these amazing pictures. That's really impressive. Like, I think you do it for a hobby, but you could really be a professional because they have so much like quality on the photo side, but also emotion in the artistic way of photographing them. That's really impressive, right? And also how the composition is of the pictures, really nice, really cool. And here's an edit. I really like that with the like everything is dark and you have this light and the background has a lot of atmosphere. Maybe I should brighten this up. I feel like this is again a little bit too dark for the stream. So let's make this a bit brighter here so you can see it maybe a little bit better for the details. Let's go like this. And yeah, I really like that. Whoops, I'm sorry, that wasn't intended. There we go, like this. So it's nice how the light comes over here. It fits, also the sun back here fits on how the light goes onto the, I don't know the name right now. And then also you put some shadow here and highlight onto our bird over here. So that's also very nice that you painted that in. And it's kind of hard to do. So you can see here, it has a little bit of shadow here, but not as much as it has over here in this picture. Maybe you did it a little bit too dark in that area here, a little bit too much, but still pretty cool. Very nice attempt to do that. Let's have a look here again. Here it looks actually better. Like here fits better because everything is darker. And then you have a very bright highlight over here where the sunlight is hitting. And this like, what I would suggest is to make an extra layer, of course, first of all, and then use a much bigger brush and paint around the outside. And because you have a bigger brush that is setting to a soft outside, you get a softer blending from the darker parts to the brighter parts. And so you can make this kind of roundness effect in the shadow because of the longer blending between the edge of the brush where it's going invisible basically and the inner side where it's going dark. And then because it's of an extra layer, you just erase the rest you don't know, you don't need on the other parts of the image, right? Okay, good. Thank you very much, Traute. Let's go on to the next one. Wow, here's another one from Klaus. Wow, okay, interesting. I made a video on how to remove these bright edges. You can check that out on my channel. Let's show you real quick. If you go to my channel, always, if you search something, always go to the profile here and click on this icon here and see if I have, for example, edge, if I have something about that. And you can see remove bright edges. So I have something there. So always go here first before you ask, for example, in the group or something, see if there is something here. You will often find videos here for a lot of topics because, as you can see, I have created, let's go here in playlists. Where's the tutorial list? Oh yeah, here I have created over 300 tutorials for Affinity Photo, right? Okay. Okay, let's look at this. Interesting. I think you use that kind of digital light filter in Affinity Photo, which creates a very strange light. So maybe paint in the light on your own on a pixel layer, and then use the blend modes like lightning or lightening. What's it called? Lighten or screen, stuff like that to make it brighter instead of using that kind of digital light filter. This one, because it looks very strange. This one, I find like there is no use, no way where you can use this and it actually looks real. It's very, I don't know why this is so strange. If there was some way to make this hard edge here softer, but it's like this light is always sticking against the canvas. Why can't I pull it away from that and have a softer light, right? Anyways, okay, let's go and have a look at this. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of different colors going on in here. You use the filter on the background here to make it more grunge effect, I think. So it's really interesting, right? Play a little bit more around with the elements, and like I said, paint in the light on your own maybe. So it fits better, because this is like, you can see how harsh this is against the background, and it's kind of a strange light effect to use there. All right, let's go on to the next one. What is this? Oh, by Jean de... I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay, wow, interesting. Okay, so you made this like a print on a porcelain plate. Pretty interesting. Oh, and you exchanged it for in the Van Gogh Museum. You removed the picture and put this here. That looks actually pretty realistic. Interesting. So initially I thought that the plate was hanging there on the wall and you just put the picture there, but you also put the plate there. That is really good. Very nice. Impressive. Interesting effects also, like really looks like painted. Really, really nice. Thank you, Jan. Do you know about in Refine dialog box selecting the output to new layer gets rid of some fringing? Do you know about in the Refine? Yeah, but Refine is like, I find always I use Refine, I get more problems than it solves. It's kind of very like strange. Maybe I have to look in the new version if they improved it, but often it creates a lot of fragments that you don't want to have, and kind of strange edges and stuff like that. So it's kind of I rather paint the mask in with a brush, like make a selection on my own and then paint in the rest of it. Wow, what is going on? Wow. So you use this kind of effect here, and then this kind of Droste effect. And I don't know what you did there. Maybe liquefy or something. Oh, Droste spiral again on the like larger bird or what? It's really strange. And then you use the creative postage stamp. And first try to use the Affinity logo, but then remove... Oh, this is just an indicator. This was done in Affinity Photo. No, it wasn't. It was done in... anyways. And I guess this is a stamp that is not created in Filter Forge. You just found a stamp online and this kind of text and put that in there. But that looks very, very good. Wow. That is really impressive. Interesting. Oh, in this case also this was placed on a paper background. So that's an interesting effect. Wow, interesting. Very nice. You might want to, at some areas, for example, if you use the brush to make it a little bit more faded from the color, so it's not as dark. And what you can also try to do, I mean, I think you have done that a little bit, is to apply a little bit of a grunge effect onto just the stamp. So it looks like the color wasn't picked up equally on all parts of the paper, and this makes it more realistic. But I think you kind of have done that, because if you look here at the heart and at the plane, there is parts that are darker and brighter, although it's kind of a solid shape, right? So I think you have already done that. Very nice, very cool. Especially I like this down here, where you like really think these are actual stamps, right? So this is from Wolfgang. Thank you very much. Really cool. Very awesome. Here's the next one from Michael. Wow, another one that has this kind of painting effect in the background. You see a little bit of this linen texture, or looks like linen texture, and then you have the bird in the foreground where you applied some, I don't know how to say that. Is it like color that's coming off the how would you call it then again? Sorry. 1 second. Geländer. The handrail. Did you apply some chipping off color? Sorry, like yeah, paint onto the handrail. It looks interesting. It kind of looks strange, but at the same time really interesting. And you put a lot of work into getting that actually onto the texture of the handrail. So that's really interesting. Wow. I put some moon in the background with some clouds. Very impressive. Interesting. I like this artistic decision that the background has this kind of painted style and kind of linen structure, and the foreground doesn't have that. It's completely different from the style. And this also separates it visually, but at the same time, because it's contrasting, it also mixes well. So that's very interesting. Very nice. Wow, what do we have here? Oh my God, you put a lot of work into that. Let's close some stuff here. Wow, so these are the materials with, okay, so you have the different steps here. Suggested photo, remove the background, very nice. White mate and remove, okay. 1 second, let's have a look here. So what is happening? You have this like ornament ball. Okay, you remove the inside and put the bird in there like a little cage. And you have some mushroom and a chain. And then you created this. So how did you use all of that? Oh, wow. Okay. So this became the wallpaper. And then you also have this here on the chain. As you can see here, the small chain part, which you turned into like more of a golden chain. And you prolonged that, and now it's hanging here. The bird is here inside. Wow. You even put a reflection below her. Really nice. Wow, you put a lot of work into that picture. Wow, wow, wow. Very nice. Tons of work, tons of effects applied to everything. Huh, very impressive. Okay, awesome. So let's go on to the next one. Thank you very much, David. Oh, Hamish has done something. Okay, interesting. So you put this inside of an iPad on the screen, and then, but you still decided to use this kind of linen background, like it's actual fabric and it's painted on that, but then still use this kind of digital dot vignette or dot like print matrix vignette. Although here, because it's a screen, it looks more digital. So that's interesting. Really cool. You might want to look, I have also created a tutorial for that where you put a little bit of a reflection on there and also put some ambient light on there so it blends better. And often what you also want to do if you put it on this kind of screen is to make the contrast a little bit lower than it is in the image, because then it looks more like it's on the screen, mostly because, not because the screen can't do it, but because when you look through the glass and also have maybe a little bit of a reflection on the glass, it loses a little bit of contrast to our eyes, and so the picture looks different often, right? There's a kind of different quality. You can play around a little bit with the settings to see how to make it more realistic. And if you look at my channel here, 1 second, I'm not sure, I think I called it mock-up. No. There we go. Laptop mock-up. You can see here, I made a tutorial especially for that, how you put a picture onto a digital screen. So you want to look for that realistic image on a screen. Okay, thank you very much for that, Hamish. Pretty cool. Let's go on to the next. How much more do we have? Not that many. Okay, that's good. So I think we will finish under 2 hours, maybe not. Let's see. We have to decide on a winner also. Wow, Kim has done a lot of stuff and also a lot of documentation. Wow, what is going on here? So you used a ton of different filters on the background, on the bird, create this kind of glass frame, broken glass. Shattered glass by 3D. Wow, okay. And then also peeling paint. And you put all of that together. This looks actually pretty good over here. This is also nice, but this one looks really nice with the glass on that. And you did some more stuff down here. Wow, so many steps. Interesting. Why is there this kind of nice breaking glass, and then suddenly here it breaks like it was cut with a, what is it called? Glass knife? I don't know how you call it in English. Also, one thing that is interesting here is like this one looks pretty good. And you can see that these are meant to be the edges of the thickness of the glass. But interestingly enough, here with all the coloring you have applied, it looks more like, Tiffany glass. What is it called? Lead glass. Lead glass. Lead glass, right. Because it looks like these are lead edges where this is the different shards of glass are held together by lead, right? So that's interesting that it's got this different effect. Maybe this is also what you wanted to do in that case. I'm not sure about that, but I mean, still it looks pretty impressive. Very nice. I like also the vintage frame here around that. It looks like really old wood where the paint is chipping off. Very cool. So this is from Kim. Lots of work. Do you have any favorites yet for the winner? Another one, very nice with a frame around it. If you create a frame, try to make an inside shadow around that, so there's a little bit of difference on the height between the frame and the background image, because as you can see here in this case, it looks like there is simply color painted around the image, and it's not actually a frame that is surrounding the image. So with a little bit of an inside shadow, you get more of that effect that is a little bit higher, a little bit distance from that. Wow, so you have the cage here and these, I don't know what that is. Looks really strange, like this kind of flower arrangement. And this is the combination of everything, which is nice. It looks like a little bit of a bird nest now. And then you also have the cage in the background. So he's kind of fleeing from the cage, has freed himself from the cage and built his own nest, which is also a nice story. So very, thank you very much, Hippolyte. Let's go on to the next one. This is by Marco. Hi, Marco, how are you doing? I hope you're in the stream right now. Hi. Okay. Wow. Okay. So this is more like a wall painting, kind of graffiti style. So here we have the guy with just a wall. And then we have the pictures on the wall where the paint again is chipping off a little bit. In this case, because of the guy down here, it would be better if this area was a little bit brighter of the picture that you put on the wall, so we can see him a little bit better here, because he's dressed completely in black. So here he's kind of, I mean, you can still see him, but not as well as before. So maybe a little bit brighter, so we just see the outline a tiny bit would be really nice. Very good work, very nice. Really enjoy that. Okay, let's go to the next one by Andreas. There we go. Is there some... No, that's, I think there's no other explanation here from that. Wow, also very nice. And you can see how you can scale also the effect. We have seen this outside frame around the picture. And this one here is in a smaller scale, so the details are smaller and it looks a lot wider. You can do that also in Filter Forge. You don't have to use the size or the resolution that is given by the sample picture. Very nice. I like also, again, another handrail. Very nice from the perspective, also nice from the light situation. The bird is sitting with the body to the cave, and this is because this is why the body is dark, and then the light is coming from the other side onto his back here. So very nice, fitting everything together and then having this frame around that, which makes it like, it looks like it's a picture inside of a book for a story. Hi, Marco. Very cool. Thank you very much, Andreas. And this is the last one by Nick Lee. Wow, okay. Hey, I've used this picture also before for one of my creative packs with the snowflakes in them. Very nice. Okay, so you made this really warm, and we have a really big bird in the foreground, or let's say very close to the camera. Interesting. Why did you decide to go so warm, so orange with the picture? For this winter scene instead of keeping it in the blue area? I used the mythical gradient, so that's interesting. Some curves. Before exporting the image to FilterForge for the finished touches, I'm new to FilterForge and downloaded a trial and think it's really awesome. I guess you probably used some kind of, oh, there it says dreamy, and then also film frame. Film frame? Oh yeah, you can see here there's a little bit of a film frame effect out here where this is kind of blending into a black, you know, from the negative film where you have this black frame around that. So this is happening here a little bit on the edges. And then you also had kind of this dreamy light effect. Very interesting, very nice. So more like subtle changes done with FilterForge. Pretty interesting. Okay. So that's all of the entries. Now we have to figure out a winner. So let's look through them and see which are the favorites and then choose one of them, right? You can also write, if you have favorites, write the names into the chat. Let's see. So what have been my favorites here? Oh my God. Sabine was really nice. So this is one of my favorites, Sabine. Okay. And then what else? Ami is really nice also. Ami. Where's the one? This one was also very impressive, right? Aber. Okay. Should we also add this from Traute? Traute. Then where's the one with the stamp? This one from Wolfgang. Wolfgang. And who else? This was very work intense also. This was also very nice. It's so hard to decide. So many good entries. How many do we have so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe also Kim. Let's have a look at the chat. David and Abel. Did I have David? Abel I have here. What was David's? Oh, this one? Yes, this is also very nice. Isabel was wonderful. Isabel. Which one is Isabel? This one with the many effects. Man, it's really hard to decide. Yes. We can also write that down. Isabel. Let's make a line here. 1 second. So this is like the extra stage. I only have one key that I can give out, sadly. I look for the ones that have like a very good, like everything, not only the effects are used in an interesting way, but everything fits together really well for a finished work, right? So, Matrix? Yeah. My favorite is Sabina's. Okay. The Matrix effect is also nice, but we can't choose all of them, right? We have to select on some of them. I mean, this is also very nice. Really good work. It's also very cool. This is also very nice. They are all very good, right? It's really hard to select something. I mean, this one I find very consistent from the artistic style. Everything comes together really well. This is also very good. Let's have a look here. And this one is artistically very good also. This is very nice, but it has this kind of lead glass effect, which kind of breaks it out of the like looking very realistic. So this one and this one, they look like really the actual thing, right? And this one is good, but it has this kind of, the edges look a little bit strange, right? That's really hard to decide here. What was Amy again? 1 second. Let's go to the list again. 1 second. Let's do this. We're a little bit over 2 hours. This was also very nice. Amy was the cover from the CD. Yes, this one, right. Abel is this one. Traute is this one. Wolfgang is the one with the... This is a lot of work and it's really nice. But the elements are not like completely fitting. This is the only thing that stands out to me, that it's really cool, but you know that the elements are not like the wallpaper is not actually on the wall, right? From the way it's integrated into the picture. But it's still a very cool work, right? Okay. Man, it's hard to decide here. Okay, let's use the matrix is modern. A lot of people are for Sabine. Ugh. Alexa is talking to me for some reason. Okay, I have to look. What the hell? 1 second, 1 second. I'm back in a 1 second. Alexa, Timer öffnen. Hier ist Uhr. There's no timer. Okay, maybe turn it off. Wow. Oh. Okay, I'm back again. Sorry. I got a new Kindle Fire tablet, and it's kind of spooky when they talk to you for no reason. All right, so let's put the names into the wheel over here. Let's delete this. And then, so we have Sabine and Ami, and then Abel and Traute and Wolfgang. That's kind of the names that I would add personally. So like, what was the other again? Kim is that one. I mean, it's also very good. And Isabel was which one? Oh, the one with the many effects. Okay, let's add them too, right? Why not? Okay. Kim, and then also Isabel. Right, okay, so let's let's click on that and see what happens. Who's gonna win? Oh, okay, there we go. Sabine, you're the winner. Awesome. Okay. Which also was one of my main choices. So that's actually, I'm pretty happy with that. Sabine and Wolfgang have been my main choices. So that's pretty awesome. So I will write you and connect you with Filter Forge so they can send you the key for the professional edition. Can you add me? Add me where? On Facebook? 1 second. Did you apply? Oh yeah, some people applied. Awesome. Okay, there you go. So let's click on home here. So yeah, Sabine, you are the winner. Where's the wheel? There we go. So this landed on you. So let me write this down. Of course, I'm sure I will remember that, but still. There we go. You have the proof in the live stream. So that's it for today. Amazing, really cool entries. Thank you very much for everything. I'm really, really happy with all the amazing things you have created. And have a look at my pack that I've linked on the top of the chat. Of course, let me pop out the chat here so I can have a look at that. So yeah, thank you very much for everyone who was part of the challenge. This time, by the way, this is just like a extra thing that FilterForge added, said they want to give away a key. It's not a weekly thing, right? It's not the new thing that's going to happen. It's just like this week because they suggested this. So yeah, if you're new to the stream, just to point that out. Thank you very much. Really, really awesome. And see you in the next, one second. See you in the next live stream, right? Okay. Bye. Have a good day. Bye.
Big dog status, I'm a big dog vet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette. Yeah. Riding around the city with a stick all black. Try with a stoker, we with all that. $80 million and I can't go back. Got a lot of jewelry on me, man, can't hold that. 12 asking better, tell him that I ain't so crack. Know your money long when your people can't afford that. I'm ballin', yeah. My mama told me that did my calling. I keep that stick, I don't do no brawling. Up and out the doors and let them all in here. Yeah, they all in here. Ooh, big dog. We come out the pound, so we big dog. Heavy paddock on me, break my wrist off. I'm young out of rocket, about to live, dog. 3, 2, 1, I got big dog status, I'm a big dog vet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette. Yeah, riding around the city with a stick all black. Try with a stoker, we with all that. Yeah, big dog status, I'm a big dog vet. I pull up on the block in a big Corvette. Yeah, riding around the city with a stick all black. Try with a stoker, we with all that. Fall in line, yeah. We got sticks like it's Columbine, yeah. Running up the dollar signs, yeah. Ain't no hiding from them hollow cans, yeah. Bring up like the Taliban, that's my paper, don't you bother mine.